What's going on, you guys? Welcome to my review of Strategic Command World War I. I am very stoked for this game coming out on December 5th, and this game, after playing it for a little bit, I love this game. It's awesome. They made Strategic Command World War II, World at War. That game was incredible, and they just brought that same awesomeness to the First World War with a couple of additional features. So let's dive right into the pros and cons. So this is the first pro that I wanted to mention. So there's a deployment phase, right? So as you can see right here in this thing here, you can deploy your forces, a good chunk of them, to the west or to the east, right? And then even send them south to take part in the conquest of Serbia. I love this key feature mainly because what it allows you to do is kind of change things up a bit. So instead of going down the normal path where you deploy all your forces to the west and you try to take France, Belgium, Netherlands, and all that shit, right? You can actually deploy to the eastern fronts, right? As you can see here. And on top of deploying to the eastern front, you can then, after deploying them, you could actually use them. So right after doing this, you could actually use them. And this is kind of branch this off a little bit. So instead of going down the historical path, you can actually kind of see where things go and change things up a little bit. So I really love that fact. It's really awesome. The second pro that I have is just like the previous game, World War II, World at War. This game is very easy to actually use. You know, you literally click and left click again. Very quick, very easy to move units. You know, it's not going to take you an hour and a half to figure this out. It's 1, 2, 3. So I really like that. They kept that same ease of use right into this game. Another pro that I like about this game is the AI is set up in such a way that it kind of takes away from your micromanagement. What I mean by that, because in World War I, there's a lot of trench warfare, right? We all know about that, right? So if you had to fucking go through every single unit and tell them to entrench and which hex facing to entrench, it would freaking drive you batshit crazy. So what they decided to do in this game is program the AI to kind of think for itself. So if you move a unit here, it's not going to do it right now, but you'll see every so often that it's actually going to set up entrenchments for you. So I really like that fact. I've noticed it during my play sessions. Another thing that I wanted to mention about the entrenchment system is that you can research and go further and further into an entrenchment system, right? So you can see trench warfare here and just add to that value and basically make trench warfare exactly what it was in World War I, which is just basically a shit ton of trenches all throughout Europe. And it becomes epic. I haven't gotten to that point where you have like the 1916, 1917 levels, but it gets to that point and it gets awesome. So another pro that I love is in this game, if you select here, Destroyer, you got a nice little icon right there. Well, right there. And it says mine. Yes, you can actually mine in this game, and it's pretty sick. So, if you are basically the underdog when it comes to the sea, you have a couple of options, you know? You could actually utilize mines for more of defensive purposes, or if you're freaking England and you got the world's best navy, then you can fucking just mine and just basically keep the German Navy in here. And there's both ways to look at it. You know, you can mine here and so the English can't freaking, you know, nibble at your fucking ships. Or, you know, if you're England, you could just set a whole fucking mine, just not have to worry about these guys. So it works both ways, you know. Another thing that I like about this game, there's dynamic movement. And what this does is if I select a unit, right, and I go here, and I deselect him, right, and I go here and I do something else, right, I can always go back to this unit. You can see the action point still there, and I can still move him. This one. So you don't actually have to kind of like, if you do this and you say, you know what, hold on, I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do here later down the road, later in this turn, you can actually still come back to it. It doesn't freaking just eject you and say, fuck you, you're not going to be able to do anything more. The other thing, which is the decision system. The decision system in World War II, World at War was awesome. It's the equivalent here. Really like it. It gives you a lot of options. Again, same thing. It can branch the war in a whole different path. So really love the fact that they added that in and they kept it and they just expanded upon it. I probably should have added this in the beginning, but I really like this map. It's a really nice map. Honestly, I really think this map is better than the World War II, World at War map. I'm just looking at it, and I notice even as the seasons change, it just looks better. And that's just me. The second to last pro that I have here is something I can't actually show you because it's not coming out until December 5th on release day, which is the Blue Max mode. So one of the developers decided, as he was making this game, to make a mode, right, or mod, whatever you call it, to basically revamp the entire game. Basically, the UI, so even like UI here, when you go into here, even reset this stuff. I mean, he went the full 9 yards. He went into the NATO counters, the regular counters. I mean, he basically just revamped everything. The hexes, it's basically a complete revamp of everything in this game, from counters to map to units to basically everything. It looks absolutely fucking beautiful. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Just looking at it, I was just literally taken back, and as I was playing this game, it was just like I had an itch. I was like, man, this game is awesome, but it's even gonna be even better with this mod. And I really appreciate the developer actually did this. The developer decided to actually make a mod for himself and just say, look, I'm going to make the base game vanilla. And then you know what? I'm going to make my own mod, and I'm just going to just turn this shit up to 10 and see what I can do. I'm just going to basically make a version of the game the way I want it portrayed. And the last thing that I want to add in terms of pro is there's an editor for this game. So this opens up the replayability of this game to fucking unlimited amount, right? You can decide to actually set up your own map, your own mod for this game, and literally just go to town and make a whole different version of the game. You can change even the conflict of the game, the units, everything with this editor. You can go to town on this editor. I really love that the developer added this. This is fucking awesome. I love when any developer adds an editor because it ensures the longevity of that game. So this is fucking awesome. I love this. And because there's an editor baked into this game, you know that when you go to the forums on the Slitherine or Matrix Games website, that there's not going to be hundreds, but there's going to be thousands of mods and maps and counters for you to actually download and just add and just extend the life of this game, you know, and give you more value for what you paid for in this game. Alright, now let's go to the cons. I don't have many. The con that I have is just basically simple that the unit strength goes from 1 to 10. But I do notice that, you know, when you're engaging, right, I do notice that, you know, you lose 2, you lose sometimes 3, and the lifespan of a unit sometimes goes very quickly. Sometimes they might go from 10 to 4 in one turn, and then possibly sometimes in the same turn from, like, you know, lose a good 8, maybe 9. In 2 turns, you could lose an entire core. So you got to be very careful. The one thing I wish that they would increase in this game is maybe increase the unit strength from 10 to maybe 20. Kind of give you a little bit more longevity for the units. So this way, you know, I'm not constantly developing unit after unit because they die so easily. But beyond that, guys, those are the only cons that I have for this game. I actually love this game. This is an amazing game. This is now my go-to World War I game. With those features they added, the trench system, the decision system, the deployment phase, the editor, I mean, all those fucking pros I talked to you about. It just adds a lot of depth into this game. All the branching that you can do by redeploying to a different fronts, the mines, all this stuff, just add to this game. And they keep refining this engine to make it better and better. So at the time of this review, I don't see the price on the Steam website. However, based upon their previous games, I'm betting this is going to launch at the $40 price tag. And for $40, I highly recommend this game because not only are you going to get a great World War I game, but you're going to get the ability to mod the shit out of this game. From a mod that you create, the maps that you create, the counters that you edit, to going to the forums and getting a shit ton of extra mods. Literally hundreds, if not thousands, of different variations that just basically make the game better and add more value to it. So overall, guys, I really love this game. It basically took what was awesome about Strategic Command World War II World at War, a game that I loved, And it applied that same awesomeness to the World War One. And then they just tweaked a couple of things, added more features to make it even more awesome. So, special thank you to Fury Software, Matrix Games, and Slytherin for making another awesome game. Really love it. So that does it for me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. I will catch you guys in the next one. See you then.